So I want to talk about this idea that I had. So this isn't really a deck yet. I still have to move things around here. But, I saw this X antibody protoform. I thought, wow, this is really good. And I was like, wait, so if I'm reading this correctly, I can just keep putting this into my security. When this is checked, I add it to my hand. Like, I put it under Digimon, put this back into security. It's checked, I put it back into my hand. It's like, this is basically recovery. But, you can put this option card very well into a black X antibody deck, and you can have quote unquote recovery with it. So it's like, wow, this is really cool. Then my idea from this came from just using Yuji Masuya. So your turn effect, when one of your black Digimon with X antibody and its traits attacks, you may suspend this tamer to place one card with X antibody and its traits from your hand under that Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. So normally, a Digimon of yours can only have one X antibody card under it. So main effect, one of your Digimon without X antibody and its Digivolution cards may Digivolve into a Digimon with the X antibody trait in your hand with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. If you do, place this card as the bottom Digivolution card. So basically, its effect is limiting itself to having only one X antibody under your Digimon. So if it already has X antibody under it, it cannot have another X antibody or an X antibody protoform. But if you were to somehow add multiple of them under your Digimon with something like Yuji Masuya, so you can actually stack these things under one Digimon. So it's like thinking, oh, cool, that is great. I can actually run this with Koda Demoto, Yuji Masuya, and X Antibody Protoform all in the same deck. And I was like wondering if I should use Cool Boy. And initially I was building a regular X Antibody black deck. Like, I had the level 3s, I had the level 4s, I had the level 5s, I had the level 6s. And like my level 6 of choice was probably the Dorugoramon, because it has this effect. When attacking once per turn, you may place one card with X antibody and its traits from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with play cost less than or equal to this Digimon's Digivolution cards. I was like, oh, cool. So if I have Dorugoramon, then every time I attack, I can add another X antibody and traits card under it. So I can easily add many X antibody protoforms under it. But then I was thinking, well, that doesn't really make sense, because if I have a level 6 with multiple X antibody protoforms, then my opponent really would not want to remove that Digimon from the field. And also, a level 6 is very unlikely to be deleted in security battles. So it doesn't really make sense for me to run many X antibody protoforms with the goal of being able to recover them into security if I'm also playing my stack all the way up to level 6. So that doesn't really make any sense, because I really want my Digimon to be deleted. Level 6 Digimon are very unlikely to be deleted when they are attacking security. And also, if I have many X antibody protoforms under my Digimon, even if my opponent could delete my level 6, then they probably would not want to. So then I took this deck in an entirely different direction. I was like, oh, cool. You know what? Let's focus more on rookie rushing, because, the easiest Digimon to be deleted in security battles are rookies. So instead of focusing on building the stack up to level 6, I was like, you know what? Let's see if I can, just throw a whole bunch of random rookies together and see if that would help. And I'm still building this deck. This is me just planning it out. And my goal to myself is to create a rookie rush deck that also has some recovery with the X antibody protoform in it. But right now, here is the skeleton for what I'm thinking. And of course, I need to remove so many rookies. I need to add some more removal cards. I honestly don't think I need as many tamers. And I might do something interesting with the Inuyamon X antibody. But let me just talk about what I'm thinking so far. So, of course, you kind of want the Doraemon BT7 as your main egg, because your turn once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, draw one. The main goal of this deck is to place X Antibody Protoform under your Digimon. So that could be by its own effect. You know, when you are about to Digivolve to a level 4, then you can just put this under your level 3 Digimon, and then this will trigger the Doraemon effect. And then you can also reduce the Digivolution cost to your level 4 by 1. So it's also better. So it's like, oh, cool. You can reduce Digivolution costs, get that Digivolution draw, and also get the draw from the Doraemon. So it seems like it's a good base for a rush style deck. So you are playing 4 of these. If you don't have the X Antibody Protoform, that's where Yuji Masuya comes into play. Yuji Masuya, because you are only running X Antibody rookies every time you push out your rookie from breeding, then you are going to gain 1 memory and draw 1. And then when you suspend Yuji Masuya when you are attacking, then you can place an X Antibody trait card from your hand under your attacking Digimon. And then this will again also help the Doraemon. The Pagumon, so this is very Digimon heavy currently. I probably will adjust some ratios, but even then, in a rookie rush deck, I think that this is probably the 5th best egg to use. Just so then you can attack with your rookies, low DP, hopefully be deleted, and then you can hopefully reveal a black Digimon and then draw 1. So currently, right now, I'm thinking that these Digimon are good. Probably also this Dorumon is also good. I don't think that I really need this other Dorumon. And this Agumon is a maybe, depending on how many tamers I end up running. But currently, Dorumon, BT7, on play reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with X Antibody and its traits. So basically, right now, all of your cards, minus the tamers, have X Antibody in their traits. So you can search for basically anything except for the tamers. But, you know, if you reveal Coda Demoto, they can get the Coda Demoto. So Doraemon can get you anything except for the Yuji. And then basically the same thing, Ryodamon reveal top 3. Then basically same effect. You can basically add anything to your hand except for the Coda. And then Inheritable, once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, gain 1 memory. Then Inheritable, you can give the Digimon that has this as Inheritable Decoy Black. This is just mainly because there are currently a lot of rookies. I may adjust the ratios later, but even if I adjust the ratios later, I think that this is still a very solid rookie to have for a rookie rush style deck. Security at the end of the battle, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a black Digimon card with a play cost of 4 or less, you may play without paying the cost. Then add the remaining card to your hand, and then add this to your hand as well. So if you look at Antibody Digimon level 4, and they are black, there's not many targets that are 4 cost or lower, but there is this Dorugamon, there is this Ginryumon, and there is this Numemon X Antibody, so I might actually do something fun with this. And currently all of my Digimon, minus the Dex Darugamon, and the Darugamon are black Digimon, play cost 4 or lower. So it's pretty. It seems like it's good. But if I adjust the ratios and I move things around, I may just place in some Pride memory boosts. Just because I'm running so many Digimon that are 4 cost or lower black Digimon. Doraemon, I think that this card is good just so then you can cycle through your deck and then hopefully find the X antibody protoform quickly. So that is probably why this card is good for the deck. Arguably, it's not needed that much because there are some X antibody searchers. For example, Agumon X antibody, reveal top 3 cards of your deck on play. Add 1 card with Greymon or X antibody in its name and 1 black Tamer card among them to your hand. So if you do play Agumon X antibody, then you can search for Agumon X antibody, or you can search for Numemon X antibody, or you can search for X antibody protoform, or you can search for the black Tamers too. So even if this is 4 costs, I feel like it might be worth it to run, especially if you want to memory choke your opponent or do some kind of weird memory manipulation. Like otherwise you have so many 3 costs, then the 4 costs might be good. So honestly, I think that the Doraemon is good, but probably not necessary. And then also, I don't think that this Doraemon is necessary either. But I think that 16 of these rookies is probably good. I am questioning the Ginryumon. It seems nice. And it is 4 costs or lower, but I don't know if I want the Darugamon for the Dex Darugamon thing. But I do want to talk about why why I'm considering Numemon X antibody. So I want to run some rookies. I want to run some champions. So then if I don't even have the UG, but I have the X antibody protoform, then I can at least digivolve into a champion. Put this under one of my Digimon, so then when that is deleted, then I can get the recovery. But if this is the case, then I'm thinking I don't really need to run that many rookies. So I might actually take some rookies out. So I'm thinking I might do something like this to take the rookies out, because I don't really need Koda Demoto that much. Yuji is better, I think, for this build, but I could, think about it later and adjust later. But I think that if I decrease the rookie count, I can put in some more options for this deck. So I can put some more options in for this deck. I do want to run the actual X antibody card for some techs with the Numemon. So this Numemon, you can attack with it, and like if you have the Yuji Masuya, you could place this card under, even if you are not digivolving into anything. But what you can also do with this Numemon X antibody, if it has the X antibody card under it, then it has on deletion, you may play 1 Digimon card with Numemon in its name from your trash without paying the cost. So I do kind of want to include this X antibody card just for this Numemon X antibody. And because I'm running these X antibody in name cards, the Agumon X antibody is just actually better. So the main plan is to drop this as a 3 cost. Use X antibody, place it under Numemon X antibody, then attack with the Numemon X antibody. When attacking, suspend Yuji, and then Yuji will place X antibody protoform underneath Numemon X antibody. Numemon X antibody on deletion, or technically when it would be deleted, but not yet. This X antibody protoform will send itself to the top of my security, and then this Numemon X antibody will be deleted along with this X antibody card. And because it had X antibody in its sources when it was deleted, then it has that on deletion to play out a Numemon in name from your trash, so it can play out itself from the trash. So this is like a pseudo armor rush. And if I combo it with the Yuji to also put this under, so it's like armor rush plus recovery. So it's like, oh, cool. I get to chip on my opponent's security, but I also get to recover and gain control at the same time. So this X antibody protoform card is pretty cool. And just because I'm running a lot of X antibody in names, then this Agumon X antibody might actually be a key part of this deck. But honestly, I'm just going to mess around with this deck. I'm going to put in probably a lot more removal and such. This deck seems cool. It might be a glass cannon against big stacks, just because I'm rushing with rookies and champions. So I might just have to add in a bunch of removal. So I'm going to play with these ratios around. I'm still talking it through. But yeah, I do think that this Numemon X antibody does not have the on deletion if you only use it with this X antibody protoform. So for example, if you attack with this Numemon X antibody, and then you use Yuji Masuya, and then you put this X antibody protoform under it, I don't believe that it will have the on deletion to play out a Numemon in name from your trash without paying cost, because if my understanding of the interaction is correct, Numemon X will attack, Yuji suspends, put X antibody protoform under it, and then this, when it would be deleted, the X antibody protoform leaves its sources before it is actually deleted. And then it goes to your security, and then this Numemon X antibody would go to the trash, and then that is when on deletion effects activate. And because it no longer had X antibody protoform in its sources, then it does not have any X antibody card in its source. So it loses the on deletion before it even hits the trash. So I think that this X antibody card is just nifty for the Numemon X antibody, just so you can have like a pseudo armor rush thing going. So this is my current plan. I'm going to, of course, adjust the ratios for the build. I'm going to put rookies so that I can search for Koda and Yuji. I still have to decide how many of each tamer I want, and then therefore I'll decide how many of these rookies to run. I think that Dorumon is pretty good. Agumon X antibody, I don't know how many I really want yet, but thinking about it, it might be really good if I bump this up to 4. Yeah, bump this up to 4. I don't need too many rookies, even though this is supposed to be rookie heavy, just because X antibody protoform, when my level 4 is deleted with this in its sources, that can return the level 3 under its source as well to my hand. So this will help me to recur my rookies. So I am thinking maybe like 12 or 13, maybe not like 14, but like even 12 or 13, just so that I can have them to digivolve right away. But I also don't need too many of them, even if this is Rookie Rush, because I can recur them later on. But yeah, I kind of think that this deck can honestly work. I'm just going to put in some like Pride memory boosts because I'm playing so many Digimon 4 costs or lower, so I can just get free Digimon. But yeah, I honestly believe that this deck can work. I'm just going to mess around with it. This was just my little ranting / brainstorming session, but like, I just want to talk about the actual idea of making a black recovery deck using X antibody protoform. I feel like people are not abusing this card enough. I feel like this card does so much. Like, you can use this, like, even if you are digivolving normally, but I think that that's cool. But the main effects that you should really, really care for is the recovering and then getting back the Digimon in the source back to hand. Like, that sounds good. It seems fun to do. Um, but like, my goal is to actually make it competitive enough so that it can be both fun and also viable, so that it can be used and actually matter. So I'm just going to mess around with this deck, and I will post an update once I adjust ratios and I am happy with the deck, with the removal and like stuff. So, this is my challenge to myself. Just make a deck using X antibiotic protoform so that I can keep recovering. And that seems to me, it seems to me that the best way to do that is with rookie rushing and technically some champions. So you can actually put this under your Digimon. So champion rush or just rookie rush with Fuji Masuya. But I will play around with ratios and I will update this at a future date. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I think that this deck probably will be a fun deck to play once we get the cards.